Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Keisha and I am currently 22 weeks post-op VSG surgery. This video is containing more towards the pandemic, coronavirus, being on lockdown, being on isolation, and having some type of disorder, whether it's an eating disorder, anxiety, depression, stuff like that, where you're secluded to the outside world, where the outside world really helps you out. Okay, I can talk about me personally, my experience. I suffer from binge eating, as you guys know. I suffer from obesity, not really depression, not really anxiety, but I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys can relate with that being on lockdown, and now that it's extended for another month. Me personally, to help me with any stress, I guess you can say, because that comes like everyday life, the gym is everything for me. I don't have to go hard in the gym every day, but I have to show up and get something done, listen to my music, and that's really a big coping mechanism for me, whether I'm having a bad day, whether, you know, my son didn't sleep at night, whatever the case may be, the gym helps me a lot. And the fact that it will be probably a little over almost 2 months since I've been to the gym, that's really hard for me, for a lot of things. Another thing is structure. For me, a schedule is everything. Knowing that I have a kid, knowing that I have a 9 to 5, knowing that I have to get stuff done, and I like to plan. I keep my planner on me. I look at my planner like 3 to 5 times a day, crossing things off of my to-do list. For me, organization and being productive is everything. It just keeps the mind going and keep you stimulated. And the fact that, you know, I'm not having a sleep schedule. I used to wake up 4:45 every single morning, going to sleep around 9 o'clock, putting my son to sleep at a certain time and all of that stuff. And the fact that I don't have to wake up at that time, and, you know, my job is not as strenuous right now because of the shorter hours and, you know, all of that stuff. So I really don't have to sleep at a certain time. My son is probably staying up only about 30 minutes later, and that's because I'm usually going to sleep and his dad is staying up later. So just his sleep schedule is a little bit off, because I'm still in very much control of that, because that just messes him up altogether. I don't want to mess him up too much on a schedule, because if you guys have kids, you know how hard it is to keep them on a schedule. But the main thing I want to talk about is an eating disorder. Binge eating, the whole pandemic limiting what you can have. And before that limit, basically 2.5 weeks ago, when we were just ramming the stores, buying everything. And a lot of us, like myself, I was one of the late people to go to the stores, where you're just buying what you can. So a lot of stuff that I was buying was chips, ice cream, canned goods, which has nothing but crap in it. What else was that? Oodles and noodles, cups of soup, things that had a whole bunch of sodium, hot dogs, bread, like just whatever you can find. Produce really wasn't something I was looking at, only because I didn't really want to leave the house for 2 weeks. And if I buy a whole bunch of produce, you guys all know produce is gone within 5 to 7 days. So I felt like the first week or 2 weeks of like this scare, before we knew that we were going to be on lockdown for so long, everybody was just eating like crazy, eating just to eat, eating of boredom. And that's really what my binging is really about, just eating out of boredom, eating because you can, eating because it's there. And that's an extremely scary thing. Especially most of my binge episodes are like 2 to 3 days, because it has gotten better. It used to be like 5 to 6 days, but now that, you know, I'm trying to get things under control, I've gotten it a little bit better. But the fact that I'm home for over a month, and if that thing wasn't under control, I feel for a lot of people that cannot control their binging and know that they're going to binge for the month or for the whole little pandemic. Like, it's crazy. So, a few things that has really been helping me is just trying. I know I personally work, but for the people that are not working, try to still get up at regular time. maybe I mean, if you're a commuter and you have to get up at like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, at least try to get up at like 8 or 9. You know, look at your planner. I'm pretty sure you want to keep your house clean. You want to wash your dishes. You want to make your bed. Just stay as productive as possible. Little things. For me personally, I have to keep my house clean. If I do not clean every 2 days, and I'm not talking about a deep clean, I'm just talking about picking up my son's clothes, still doing the laundry weekly, still making sure there's no dishes in the sink, making sure that I'm cooking every day, a healthier meal, things like that, just to keep my day rolling. I am still working out. If you guys are following me on Instagram, you guys know I do want to get some type of movement in 30 minutes. I'm giving myself, I put in my planner 4 to 5 times a day, but if I'm able to do it every single day of the week, that is a plus. I don't really want to stray away from my schedule, even though I have, but the structure of it and being productive is something that I have to stay with. I went grocery shopping recently and I picked up some produce, some apples, pears, things that are going to last a little bit longer. I bought some bananas, just because bananas will last in your house for like, if they're green, 7 to 8 days, and then you can just freeze them when they're ripe and they'll last a lot longer. So, all right, cars, what are you doing? So that's what I've been doing, trying to get produce in that's going to last at least a week, at least 7 to 8 days instead of like the 3 to 5. And then from there, I have like fruit cocktail. I have a lot of frozen fruit. I have my frozen chicken and things like that. So just making sure that I am prepping myself for success. Just because, you know, I do have snacks in the house for my son. I'm trying to keep it at like apple, because he loves like applesauce. He loves the peanut butter crackers. He loves granola bars. My son loves fruit. You know, just because you have a kid in the house, that doesn't mean that you have to have all these snacky foods in the house. And then again, you can have chips in the house, or Oreos and stuff like that. However, just limit it to as minimal as possible. You know, you can have veggie straws. You can have peanut butter is a good snack with like celery or apples. You just don't have to buy every single snack. Like when I was going to the store, I was buying cookies and just everything. And I noticed I was eating them within a day or two. And that's the biggest thing for me. When I have snacks in the house, I want to eat. And that's just not good, especially for someone like me. If you're strong enough to do that and you can have a serving size or a little bit more than a serving size and put it away, hey, do you. But someone that has an eating disorder, they cannot do that. I cannot do that. If I'm buying a bag of popcorn, I'm eating the whole bag, just not a serving size. So just great practices, trying to stay productive, not overeating, and not eating when you're bored. That's another thing too. Just not eating when you're bored and trying to stay as productive as possible, making yourself a to-do list. Even during this time, if you want to read more, like I've seen a lot of posts on Instagram saying, if you don't come out of this pandemic, whether you're grinding on your side hustle a little more, you guys see me pushing out more videos. This is my side hustle, yo. I'm trying to do this a little bit more, trying to engage with you more, trying to talk with you more, because that's, you know, that's what I like to do. So if you don't come out with whatever your side hustle is, if you don't come out with starting a side hustle or learning a new knowledge, being more educated, or just something around that nature, you don't lack the time, you lack the discipline. That's what I learned. You're not lacking the time, because you have the time. You have a month of no work. You have a month to be with your kids. It's not that. It's that you lack discipline. And you clearly lack focus. So, like I said, you guys have a lot of times on your hand. That's a time for healing. I'm seeing people fasting for, not for weight loss, but for clarity, for mental reasons, because it's a lot going on, and you're just like all over the place, and you want to, you know, realize things and understand things. So be patient with yourself. I'm being very patient with myself. I know that my goals aren't going to be 100%, but the fact that I'm working towards my goals is something, you know what I mean? So you guys stay focused, stay motivated, stay safe, and stay in the house. and I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye guys. I'm turning, so yes, I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye guys.